Hi, welcome, friends. Welcome back to The Inspired Hustler. I am with yet another hustler that definitely inspires me. I want to welcome T. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everybody. Yes, my name is T or Nurse T. I also go by the Queer Ketamine Nurse. I have a couple different hats that I wear
I love
here in
that.
the community, and I am a nurse here in the Las Vegas community. I'm a registered nurse who specializes in the intersection of LGBTQ identifying people, right, queer identifying people who have serious mental health conditions, and they've tried a lot of different things. They're on different medications, and they just haven't been able to see results, right? And they come to ketamine therapy. So that's where my intersection is. That's who I am, what I do, what my sort of the queer ketamine nurse cap is that
I
I wear.
love that. I didn't even know that. I have another good friend that often joins me for the podcast, and he does a lot of um, different therapies. Like ketamine is one of them, but he hosts a lot of retreats and just out of the box stuff. He's also a regular therapist, but he has this heart for other holistic therapies that I mean, 5 years ago, I didn't even know what any of this stuff was. So how did this become your hat? Like, how'd you fall into this world?
Yes, I did sort of fall into the world on accident. I had been struggling with some pretty serious co-occurring mental health conditions for a very long time, really ever since I was about the age of 11 or 12. I had a Lyme disease diagnosis. I know you chatted with my mom on another
Mm-hmm.
podcast episode
Love
about
her.
Lyme disease and that sort of side of the story. So basically, I had been sick for a very long time, had tried all sorts of different naturopathic, homeopathic, holistic, allopathic medicines, herbs, supplements, modalities, and had experienced a little bit of relief here and there with each one. I think each one held a little bit of validity
Mm,
um, and assistance, but none of them were really like, okay, that really stuck.
hmm
And that made lasting change. And now, oh, I see, right, that sustained lasting change in my life. Um, so I actually found my way. I had finished nursing school and I was doing a bit of traveling. I was living in South Lake Tahoe, and I
mm,
met some LGBTQ identifying friends in that area who introduced me to ketamine in a very relaxed way. Like they were very encouraging and very kind and very open-minded and pointed me to the only ketamine clinic in town. I got started as a patient there. I did not have a good time starting out as a patient alone, living in South Lake Tahoe with only a
mm,
couple, new friends here and there. So I had a very rough time with it, and that's why I wrote my book.
mm,
Because I said, "Hey, I want to have a guide. I wish that I had a
hmm
guide or a friend or a sitter, right, that could have been with me and could have had an appointment with me once or twice beforehand to get to
hmm
know me and then come in person with me and like be there to hold my hand or take notes, right? Like I wish that I had had someone and something like that. And so, um, after experiencing ketamine several times, I had a pretty big breakthrough in my life. At the same time, it coincided with a breakup that I was going through.
mm,
And I just got this wave of motivation that I had never experienced before that was just like,
uh-huh.
hey, okay, this is my opportunity to become my best self for myself, to recreate myself and to grow and to, you know what, I need to stop procrastinating and I need to take that nursing licensing exam and become
Wow.
a nurse. And it was like you need to take that next step, right? It
hmm
was like I don't know exactly what it's going to look like for me to be a nurse, but the ketamine helped to give me the clarity of, hey, take the next step. We've got your back. Keep going. Like live your life. It
hmm
renewed me so deeply. And over the
Wow.
course of the next few months of doing ketamine therapy and of learning more about ketamine therapy and doing more research and talking to more doctors, um, And then working at a ketamine clinic, I actually worked at two
Mm,
different ketamine clinics. I just sort of gained more experience and insight and put that into my book, right? And now have expanded my services as a registered nurse. I not only speak on the subject, right? I've been to a few conferences.
mm-hmm.
Um, Psychedelic conference, MAPS conference, right? I've spoken and been a panelist at those. I've also been am a sitter,
Mm,
professional. So I've taken a Zendo sitting and integration certification as well as Sybin's Embark Psychedelic Facilitator certification to get some knowledge
wow.
and wherewithal as to how to hold trauma-informed, culturally
Mm-hmm.
competent care for people, right, in a psychedelic realm, in the
Mm-hmm.
psychedelic realm and psychedelic spaces. And then third, I'm also like a ketamine coach, right?
Mm,
So basically, just if people have questions about ketamine, if they don't know where to start, if they've gotten started, anywhere that somebody is in their process, I just want to be a friend, a hand to hold, throughout the process of
mm-hmm.
growing um, into our most authentic selves, right? And into our highest selves, into our the best selves we can be, and
Mm-hmm.
also that meaning and that purpose in our lives, giving back to those, being in community.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so very important to live a well balanced, holistic life, and ketamine has helped me do that and find that. And so I want to help others who are struggling. Um, Anybody who might be curious or um, is listening and might have heard of ketamine and oh, it's a horse tranquilizer. Oh, didn't Matthew Perry die from that? There's a lot of misconceptions
Mm,
and improper uses of
mm-hmm.
ketamine,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. So I'm out here trying to spread the word that when it's done the right way, right, it is very, very safe, um,
Mm-hmm.
very, very effective. I mean, I can give you some statistics about
Yeah,
how
tell me. I'm very curious because, yeah, when I met you, I was like, you're so young to be, and I mean that as a compliment. You are so young to be an author and a keynote speaker and to have the experience that you have as a young person. So when you told me about all the work that you're doing with young people, I was like, you need to come on the podcast. Like, I tell everyone the name of your book too.
you. Yes, my book is the Ketamine Handbook, and it's on Amazon. It's available in Kindle as well, paperback and Kindle.
Awesome. Okay, we'll definitely link it and then I need to read it and have you back on. But yes, give us some of these statistics.
Yeah, so some of the statistics I think, so I like to highlight, I say ketamine is more efficient, it has fewer side effects, and it is more effective. So a couple
Mm,
studies I have to back those up. So more efficient. A study from Zarate et al. 2006 says more than 70% of patients exhibiting a 50% or greater improvement in depressive symptoms within
mm.
24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, I have a girlfriend that has been in therapy for some time for anxiety and depression, and she swears by this. She said it total, I don't know how many sessions she did, but a therapist that joins me regularly said that it's similar to like having a roadmap where roads are closed, and this opens up the closed roads and like it just gives you another path to follow that you wouldn't have been able to see from the driver's seat. And I was like, that's a really good explanation because I don't have the experience. So I have a therapist that also does ketamine therapy, and then I have a really good friend that's seen really great results with this, using this with her therapist. Like she swears by it and said it's been really helpful. So I have every reason to believe, one, you need somebody that really knows what this looks like, and that can come with your viewpoint of wish I would have known what I know now as I was beginning this. Um, New therapy. I wish I would have known. What are some of the things that you think somebody thinking about this needs to know or needs to consider before they get started?
Yeah, something that somebody needs to consider before they get started is their support system.
Mm,
Is do you have somebody like like the basics of do you have somebody who can drive you to that appointment, wait around for an hour, hour and a half, or come back and pick you up an hour and a half later
mm-hmm,
and take you home? Do you have someone that can be there for you, right? in that time of need,
Hmm.
who like can be like, I don't know, I don't understand exactly what it is you're doing there. You're going in there and you're hallucinating to get better. Okay, whatever. That is,
Uh-huh.
I'll drive you home, sure. Like,
Uh-huh.
find that person who you can trust, who can provide a safe space for you to come home and to relax and decompress.
Mm,
So.
that's good advice. And what would you say to somebody who's maybe tried other therapies, like somebody who's maybe been on antidepressants for a long time or anti-anxiety and just isn't seeing the results that they want to be able to see? They're not seeing a lasting effect. What would you suggest for somebody in those shoes?
Yeah, so someone in those shoes, I would point them actually to a Mind Bloom lozenge study that was completed 2 years ago,
Mm,
which shows that, standard SSRI antidepressants are about 20% less effective than the Mind Bloom lozenge treatments that they've been completing.
oh, interesting. And what do those treatments include? Is this part of ketamine therapy?
Yes, it's part of ketamine
Mm,
therapy. So ketamine, it's actually administered in a couple different routes. So you have the lozenges, right, which are little like kind of gummies that you soak
uh-huh.
in your mouth and they dissolve, and then you have your experience, and then you just sort of, urinate it out in the restroom.
Uh-huh.
And then you also have intravenous, right, an IV. You have intramuscular, a shot in the
Mm.
deltoid usually. And then you have intranasal, which is typically Spravato, which is covered by most insurances, right?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, yeah. And there are more lozenge, like there are several different lozenge companies that are starting to accept insurances, and I actually
Mm.
am partnering with one of them to
Oh,
provide
that's
training
exciting.
clients. Yeah, yeah, it's super exciting because basically now I don't need to go back to nursing school to become a psych NP.
Uh-huh.
I have a practitioner, so clients can
Mm.
choose me from Better Use, online. I could give you the link for the Better Use
Yeah, let's definitely link it. Yeah.
portal there, because then people can click there. They can sign up to work with me as a coach and sitter, and then they can sign up to work with Better You to provide the medication. A prescriber will meet
Mm.
with them on video call and assess
Mm-hmm.
their needs and assess their treatment protocol, and then ship them the medication, and then the client will take the medication to me, and either we will meet in the client's home or we will meet in my camper. I've actually recently
Oh.
purchased a little RV camper trailer that we can either we can take the medicine to there to just sort of be there
Mm-hmm.
in a different space in the parking lot. Or if you really want an adventure and you want a luxury experience, we can take that trailer and we can go over to Red Rocks, right? We can go to the
Uh-huh.
mountains, or we could go over to Lake Mead and Hoover Dam. So that's sort of the business model that I'm building with
Uh-huh.
Ketamine.
I love that. It sounds like a lot of options too for somebody that, wants to that hasn't found traditional treatments helpful or helpful enough, that's looking for a way to expand, what they know to be true and find another avenue.
Exactly. I always say keep trying. What's going to work for you is not going to work for someone else.
Sure.
Unfortunately, it took me over a decade to figure out what's the combination of things that work for me, but I found it, right? And I didn't off myself, right?
Uh-huh.
And this is Pride Month that we're recording this and that we're potentially
Oh,
putting
you're
this out.
right. Uh-huh.
And I just want
Yeah,
to
it will
encourage
go out this month. Yeah. You're right.
them.
It is Pride Month. Yes, you're right.
Because unfortunately, there's actually 14 times more suicidal attempts among LGBTI people, according to another study. So we really are out here just trying to prolong queer and trans lives, right? We want people to live longer, happier, healthier lives.
Hmm.
So,
Well, and I think it's our job to love everyone is, our first conversation. That was what I was like, I think it's our job to love everybody. And I think I understand where you're coming from with this, especially a younger population, that you have these stats. Because if you don't have a really good support system, that alone that changes everything. Your support system. I'm always preaching about your power of five. But that could be really difficult if you have friends that are not supportive as to who you are or how you identify. And that support system is everything, especially as a young person where you're just trying to figure out life, and to throw a whole nother element on top of that and some depression or anything else that comes into play. I could only imagine how you really need a good support group around you. So kudos to you for being that support group, especially for a group that you have personal experience with that needs help.
Thank you, thank you. And on that note, specifically with support groups, I do have quarterly all things queer ketamine support groups on
Oh, I
Eventbrite
love that. Okay, we're
as
going to make
well.
sure to link that as well. Yeah, we need to link all of your things. And
All
then
of
tell me the
it.
name of tell me the name of the book one more time because I need to read this. I read everything on Kindle.
I love it. It was the Ketamine Handbook.
Ketamine Handbook, very, very easy. And I imagine it's a pretty easy read. You've probably dumbed it down for people that don't know much, that are
Yes.
not a psych nurse.
Exactly. It's a simple, like easy to read. It's colorful, it's fun. There's a little bit about who I am and my journey. There's a lot of resources. And one thing I do want to touch on too, in case some people are having certain fears about like, oh, well, ketamine, it's not a natural substance, and what are you doing talking about this, with holistic medicine and all that. Ketamine actually, it does exist as a fungi in the Brazilian rainforest.
Oh, interesting. Well, I was going to say, do you think that what do you call it? A SR, there's a name for it. Like, do you think those are holistic? I
Oh,
mean, and I'm not saying there's not a need. I think I spout this often. Like if your, elbow is sprained, you would wear a brace. Like if you are having something that needs attention, there's a place for medication. And I didn't always feel that way, but I do believe there's a place for medication. So I think for somebody who thinks that may be the road to go down, look at all the options.
I completely agree. I completely agree. And it's like, I think a lot of people need to understand too, like, what are the options comparing SSRIs to
Hmm.
ketamine, right? And weighing those pros and cons, because ketamine actually has 45% fewer side effects
Oh,
when
interesting.
when compared to standard antidepressants.
Oh, really? I can't wait to read the book because you definitely need to come back on. I have like 15 other questions that we don't have time for today. But I definitely want to have you come back on. So we are going to link all of your info, your book, the support group, which thank you. I didn't even consider that you're also running a support group, and all the fun things that you do so somebody knows how they can reach you and how they can be part of what you're doing, whether it's to be a supporter or because they need the support themselves.
Thank you. Thank you so much for linking everything. It's, if you Google search the Queer Ketamine Nurse or put it into the web, the website, Instagram, I'm out there. I appreciate you providing the links so that people can find me directly
Oh,
and
definitely.
connect with me because I'm always down to collaborate and to grow community, to share information, and to just, expand and enjoy this wild ride
Yeah,
we've
right.
been.
I love that. I wish more people had the same attitude. Because yeah, we are here to like grow community and connect. And when you have people that are of that same mindset, that are like, hey, I know something you don't know, get over here. It's just a way for all of us to expand what we're doing. So I love what you're doing. Keep up all the great work. It was such a pleasure to see your face.
Thank you so much. It was lovely to meet you virtually, but
Yeah,
and with the faces this time around.
totally. Love
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, we'll get everything linked. Yeah, thank you so much. Until next time.
Until next time, thanks again.